The silent current shuddered as another power cell died with a sharp crack. Captain Hyun-soo gripped his command chair, feeling the familiar vibration of his ship's failing systems through his crystalline skin. The bridge lights flickered from bright white to emergency red, casting strange shadows across the faces of his mixed crew. "Engineering report," Hyun-soo called out, his voice steady despite the growing fear in his chest. Da-yoon's 6 arms moved across her control panel like a frantic dance. The Velthari engineer's usually calm demeanor had cracked hours ago when the quantum drive first started failing. "Captain, we have cascade failures in sections 4 through 7. The gravitational wave we hit damaged more than just our engines. Life support is running on backup power, and that won't last long." Navigator Boram clicked her mandibles together nervously. Her compound eyes, which could normally see quantum currents invisible to most species, now showed only the terrible emptiness of deep space around them. "Sir, we are 3 days from the nearest charted system at full speed. In our current condition, we cannot reach any inhabited world." Hyun-soo looked around his bridge at the 12 crew members from 6 different species. They had been exploring the Outer Rim together for 2 years, mapping new star systems for the Galactic Cooperative. They were scientists, not soldiers. They had signed up to discover new worlds, not to die in the void between stars. "How long do we have?" he asked quietly. Daeun's arms stopped moving. "At current power consumption, maybe 18 hours. If we shut down all non-essential systems, we might stretch it to 30 hours. But Captain, that means no engines, no navigation, no long-range sensors. We would be floating blind." The bridge fell silent except for the soft hum of failing systems. Hyun-soo had served in space for 20 years. He had seen ships die before. Usually there was time for rescue, time for other cooperative vessels to respond. But they were in uncharted space, far from any patrol routes. No one would be looking for them here. Communications officer Wonbin looked up from his station. The young Cathari had joined the crew only 6 months ago, fresh from the academy. "Captain, should I send a distress signal?" "On what power?" Daeun asked, her voice bitter. "Our communications array is barely functioning. We might reach a few light years at best." "Send it anyway," Hyun-soo ordered. "Broadcast on all known frequencies. Someone might hear us." Wonbin nodded and began working. The distress beacon went out into space, carrying their position and their plea for help. It was a small signal against the vastness of the galaxy, but it was all they had. Chief Science Officer Jin-A had been quiet during the crisis, but now she spoke up. The elderly Novan had gray skin that showed her age and wisdom. "Captain, I have been running calculations. The gravitational anomaly that damaged us was not natural. The quantum signatures suggest it was artificial, possibly a weapon test or some kind of space-time experiment." "Are you saying someone did this to us?" asked Security Chief Dong-hyun. The Thrak warrior's scales had turned dark red, a sign of anger in his species. "I cannot be certain," Jin-A replied. "But the patterns match theoretical models for gravity-based weapons. Someone may have been testing dangerous technology in what they thought was empty space." Hyun-soo absorbed this information. If Jin-A was right, then their disaster was not just bad luck. Someone had been careless or cruel enough to test weapons where peaceful explorers might travel. But that knowledge would not save them now. "Captain," called out Medical Officer Soo-jin. The Ilani doctor's tentacles were pale with worry. "I need to discuss crew health with you. The stress and fear are affecting everyone differently. Some species handle crisis better than others." Hyun-soo nodded. He could see the strain on all their faces. Young Wonbin kept glancing at the communications panel, hoping for an impossible reply to their distress call. Da-yoon had started talking to herself in her native language while she worked, a sign of deep stress in the Velthari. Even steady navigator Boram kept cleaning her compound eyes nervously. "How can we help them?" Hyun-soo asked. "Keep them working," Soo-jin replied. "Give them tasks, keep their minds busy. If they start to panic, if they lose hope, we will have bigger problems than power failure." Hyun-soo understood. A crew that gave up was already dead. He stood and walked around the bridge, stopping at each station. He spoke quietly with each crew member, asking about their work, their families back home, anything to keep them focused on life instead of death. Hours passed. The ship grew colder as life support systems struggled. The lights dimmed further. Dayun managed to squeeze a few more hours from their failing power by shutting down everything except basic life support and the distress beacon. They had perhaps 24 hours left. "Captain," Wanbin said suddenly, his voice filled with surprise. "I'm getting something on sensors. Very faint, but there is a large mass approaching our position." Every head on the bridge turned toward him. "What kind of mass?" Hyunsu demanded. I cannot tell. It is too far away, and our sensors are too damaged. But Captain, it is big. Much bigger than any cooperative vessel I know." Hope flickered in Hyunsu's chest, then died just as quickly. It could be an asteroid, or debris from whatever caused the gravitational anomaly. Boram's compound eyes focused on her navigation display. "No, Captain. This object is moving under power. It has an energy signature. It is a ship." The bridge erupted in excited chatter from the crew, but Hyunsu felt a chill that had nothing to do with the failing heaters. A ship this far from cooperative, space this far from any known trade routes could only mean one thing. "Pirates," he said quietly, and the bridge fell silent again. Dayun's arms trembled as she worked. "Captain, what do we do? We have no weapons, no shields, no power to run." Hyunsu looked at his crew, at the good people who had trusted him to bring them home safely. He had failed them once already by leading them into the path of that gravitational weapon. He would not fail them again. "We continue sending the distress signal," he said firmly. "Maybe they will help us. Maybe they are not pirates. And if they are..." He paused, thinking of his crew's families, their dreams of discovery cut short. "Then we face whatever comes with dignity." The unknown ship grew larger on their failing sensors, approaching through the darkness of space like a predator moving toward wounded prey. Commander Minho stood on the bridge of the Indomitable Spirit and watched the holographic display show the approaching alien vessel. The human dreadnought was massive, over a kilometer long, with enough firepower to destroy a small fleet. It had been patrolling the outer rim of human space when the distress signal reached them. "Sir, we are receiving the alien transmission," reported Lieutenant Sung-jin from the communication station. "It is definitely a distress call. Multiple life signs aboard, power failing rapidly." Minho studied the tactical display. The alien ship was small, maybe a tenth the size of his vessel and clearly designed for exploration rather than war. Its energy signature was failing fast. "Any response to our hails?" "Negative, sir. I don't think they can hear us." "Their communications array appears damaged." The commander touched the scar that ran along his jaw, a reminder of his last encounter with unknown aliens. That had been a trap, a fake distress call that had cost him 30 good sailors. The memory made him cautious, but something about this situation felt different. "Tactical assessment," he ordered. Lieutenant Hyejin looked up from her weapons console. "Sir, the vessel poses no threat to us. No weapons that our sensors can detect. No shields, engines barely functioning. If this is a trap, it's a very poor one." Dr. Yoonji stepped forward from her position near the medical station. As the ship's chief medical officer, she had been listening to the debate with growing urgency. "Commander, that ship has multiple alien life forms aboard. We are looking at first contact with several new species. The scientific value alone..." "The scientific value won't matter if they're hostiles using a damaged scout ship as bait," interrupted Major Junho, the ship's marine commander. "Sir, we should maintain distance and scan them thoroughly before any rescue attempt." Minho understood both perspectives. Dr. Yoonji was right about the historic nature of this encounter. Humanity had only made contact with 3 alien species so far, and 2 of those meetings had ended in warfare. But Major Junho was also right about caution. His job was to protect his ship and crew. "Sir?" Sung-jin called out urgently. I'm reading multiple system failures aboard the alien vessel. Their life support is critically low. At their current rate of decline, they have maybe 6 hours left." The bridge fell quiet. 6 hours. Not enough time for a thorough scan and security assessment. Not enough time to call for backup or consultation with Fleet Command. If they were going to save those aliens, they had to act now. Minho looked around, his bridge at the faces of his crew. These were good people, trained warriors who had followed him through the brutal frontier conflicts of the last decade. They trusted his judgment, even when that judgment led them into danger. How long would a rescue operation take? He asked. Major Junho checked his tablet. If we move fast, we could have a team aboard their ship in 2 hours. Emergency repairs and evacuation might take another 4 hours, depending on how bad the cask damage is. That cuts it very close, Dr. Yunji observed. And we would be working with alien technology we don't understand. Alien biology we have never seen. All the more reason to be careful, Major Junho replied. Sir, I recommend we send a small reconnaissance team first. Establish that this is not a hostile situation. Minho walked to the front of the bridge and stared out at the stars. Somewhere out there, alien beings were dying while he debated whether to help them. He thought about his training, about fleet regulations, about the safety of his own crew. Then he thought about the oath he had taken when he first put on the uniform, to protect life wherever it was threatened. Belay that reconnaissance order, he said finally. Launch full rescue operations immediately. I want engineering teams, medical teams, and security teams ready to move in 30 minutes. Sir? Major Junho asked, surprised. Minho turned back to face his crew. Major, those beings are dying right now while we stand here talking about protocol. If this is a trap, we will deal with it, but I will not let people die because I was too afraid to act. Dr. Yunji smiled. Thank you, Commander. I will prepare medical supplies for unknown alien physiologies. Lieutenant Hyejin, what is our weapons status? Minho asked. All systems ready, sir. If this turns hostile, we can defend ourselves. Good, but I want our weapons powered down during the rescue. I do not want those aliens to see us as a threat. Minho paused, thinking. Lieutenant Seungjin, can you access any databases on alien languages or communication methods? I have been working on that, sir. The distress signal includes some mathematical constants that might help establish basic communication. I might be able to create a simple translation protocol. Excellent work. Major Junho, I want your Marines ready, but not threatening. These aliens are probably terrified already without seeing armed humans boarding their ship. The Major nodded. Understood, sir. Light weapons only, and we will keep them concealed until needed. Minho sat back in his command chair and activated the ship-wide communication system. This is the commander speaking. In 30 minutes, we will be conducting our first rescue operation involving multiple unknown alien species. This is a historic moment for humanity, but more importantly, it is a chance to save lives. I expect everyone to perform with honor and compassion. The galaxy is watching, even if they don't know it yet. He closed the channel and looked at his bridge crew. Lieutenant Seungjin, continue trying to establish communication. Let them know help is coming. Dr. Yunji, prepare your medical bay for alien patients. Lieutenant Hyejin, keep our sensors focused on that ship. If their condition changes, I want to know immediately. Sir, called out Ensign So Young from the navigation station. We are within shuttle range of the alien vessel. Through the main view screen, they could see the alien ship more clearly now. It was elegant with smooth curves and what appeared to be crystalline components built into its hull. It was nothing like human ship design, but it was clearly the work of an advanced civilization. Launch shuttles, Minho ordered, and may God help us all. The indomitable spirit came to a stop relative to the dying alien vessel. From its shuttle bays, small human craft launched into space carrying teams of engineers, medics, and marines toward an encounter that would change the galaxy forever. Behind them, the massive human warship waited, its weapons dark but ready, a guardian in the void. Minho watched the shuttles approach the alien ship and felt the weight of history on his shoulders. In a few minutes, humans would set foot on an alien vessel for the first time. They were going not as conquerors but as rescuers. Whatever happened next would determine how the universe remembered humanity's first act of interstellar mercy. Sergeant Tae-hyun checked his equipment one last time as the shuttle approached the alien vessel. His Marine squad had been chosen for this mission because they were the most experienced with boarding operations, but nothing had prepared them for this moment. They were about to meet aliens for the first time, and those aliens were dying. "Remember," he told his squad through their helmet communicators, "weapons stay concealed unless I give the order. These people are scared and desperate. We are here to help, not to threaten." Medic Chan-woo adjusted the portable medical kit on his back. "Sergeant, what if their biology is completely different from ours? What if our medicine hurts them instead of helping?" "Then we improvise," Tae-hyun replied. "Dr. Yoonji uploaded everything we know about alien physiology to your medical scanner. Do your best and trust your training." The shuttle docked with the alien ship with a soft thump. Through the airlock window they could see the interior of the alien vessel. Emergency lighting cast everything in a red glow, and the air looked thin and cold. "Atmosphere is breathable," reported Corporal Young-soo from his scanner. "Oxygen levels are low but safe for us. Temperature is dropping fast." Tae-hyun opened the airlock and stepped onto the alien ship. The corridors were smaller than human ships with curved walls that seemed to flow like water. Strange symbols glowed faintly along the walls, probably their version of signs and directions. "Hello?" he called out, his voice echoing in the narrow hallway. "We are here to help. Can anyone hear us?" A sound came from deeper in the ship, like clicking and whistling mixed together. Then a voice spoke in accented but understandable English. Who are you? How do you know our language?" Tae-hyun felt relief flood through him. They could communicate. "We received your distress signal. We are humans from the ship outside. We came to rescue you." A figure appeared at the end of the corridor, walking carefully toward them. It was Captain Hyun-soo, his crystalline skin catching the emergency lights. He moved slowly, clearly weak from the failing life support, but his posture showed dignity and caution. "Humans," Hyun-soo repeated the word slowly. "We have heard stories about humans. You are said to be warriors, conquerors." Tae-hyun carefully removed his helmet, showing his human face. "Some of us are warriors, yes, but right now we are rescuers. Your ship is dying and so are your people. Will you let us help?" Behind Captain Hyun-soo, other alien faces appeared in the corridor. Tae-hyun saw beings unlike anything in human experience. 6-armed engineers, insectoid navigators, tentacled medics. All of them looked frightened, desperate, but also curious about these strange humans who had come to save them. We do not understand," said Captain Hyun-soo. "Why would you help us? We are strangers. We have nothing to offer you in return." Medic Chan-woo stepped forward, his medical scanner beeping as it analyzed the alien life signs. "Sir, your crew is suffering from oxygen deprivation and hypothermia. We need to get them to our ship immediately, or start emergency repairs here." "Emergency repairs," Captain Hyun-soo decided quickly. "This ship contains years of scientific data. We cannot abandon it unless there is no choice." Tae-hyun nodded and activated his communicator. "Command, this is boarding team 1. The aliens are cooperative and need immediate assistance, requesting engineering teams to assist with emergency repairs." While they waited for the engineers, Tae-hyun's squad spread out through the ship to assess the damage. What they found was worse than expected. Power conduits had melted, life support systems had failed completely, and the quantum drive had suffered cascade failures that would take weeks to repair properly. Engineer Da-yoon met them in the engineering section, her 6 arms moving frantically over control panels that sparked and flickered. She was clearly exhausted, working beyond her limits to keep her ship alive. "The power cells are dead," she explained through Lieutenant Sung-jin's translation device, which had been uploaded to their suit computers. "I have been trying to jury-rig the systems, but I do not understand how to make them work together anymore." Corporal Young-soo, who had been an engineer before joining the Marines, looked at the alien systems with professional interest. "Sergeant, I think I can help. Their power distribution is similar to our old Mark 7 systems, just more advanced." "Do it," Tae-hyun ordered. For the next hour, human and alien engineers worked side by side. Young-Soo showed Da-Yun how to bypass the damaged power conduits using human emergency cables. In return, Da-Yun explained the alien power system, teaching the humans about quantum energy distribution methods that were centuries ahead of human technology. "This is fascinating," Da-Yun said, her exhaustion forgotten in the excitement of technical collaboration. "Your emergency repair methods are so simple but so effective. We have been overthinking the problem." Meanwhile, medic Chan Wu worked with the alien medical officer, Su Jin. The Ailani doctor's tentacles moved in complex patterns as she explained her species' biology to the human medic. "Your people are remarkable," Su Jin told Chan Wu as they treated crew members suffering from oxygen loss. "Your medical techniques are primitive by our standards, but your adaptability is extraordinary. You are learning our biology as you work." The most difficult moment came when young communications officer Wanbin collapsed from exhaustion and stress. He had been at his post for 36 hours straight, trying to maintain the distress signal with failing equipment. Chan Wu rushed to help, but his medical scanner could not interpret Cathari physiology quickly enough. The alien was dying, and human medicine might kill him faster than save him. "Please," Captain Hyun-Soo begged. "He is barely adult, fresh from the academy. His family." Taehyun made a decision that went against all his training. He removed his emergency oxygen mask and placed it over Wanbin's face, breathing the thin, alien air himself. "Chanwoo, use my oxygen readings as a baseline. If it helps me, it might help him." It worked. Wanbin's breathing stabilized and his crystalline skin regained some of its color. But the effort left Taehyun dizzy and weak. "Why?" Captain Hyun-Soo asked, steadying the human sergeant. "Why risk your life for one of us?" "Because that's what people do," Taehyun replied simply. "We help each other." By the time the human engineering teams arrived with portable power generators and life support equipment, the crisis was over. The silent current was stable, its crew safe, and a bond had formed between the two species that transcended language and biology. As they prepared to transfer the alien ship's crew to the indomitable Spirit for proper medical treatment, Captain Hyun-Soo approached Sergeant Taehyun one last time. "I was wrong about humans," the alien captain said. "The stories we heard spoke only of your warrior nature. They said nothing about your compassion." Taehyun smiled tiredly. "Maybe that's because the people who spread those stories never needed our help." The medical bay of the indomitable Spirit had been transformed into something resembling a small hospital. Dr. Yoonji worked alongside alien medical officer Su Jin, treating crew members from 6 different species while learning their biology in real time. The sight of humans and aliens working together would have seemed impossible just days ago. Captain Hyun-Soo sat in the ship's observation lounge, looking out at the stars while his crew recovered. The human ship was massive beyond anything in cooperative space, its corridors wide enough for entire alien families to walk side by side. Yet despite its size and obvious military purpose, the crew had welcomed them not as prisoners but as honored guests. Commander Minho entered the lounge carrying 2 cups of what the humans called coffee. He had learned that Captain Hyun-Soo's species could safely consume the human beverage, though they found it quite strong. "How are your people doing?" Minho asked, settling into a chair across from the alien captain. "Better than I dared hope," Hyun-Soo replied, accepting the coffee gratefully. "Your Dr. Yoonji has accomplished medical miracles in the past 3 days. Wanbin is fully recovered and Da-Eun's exhaustion injuries are healing well." Minho nodded. "Dr. Yoonji is excited about the exchange of medical knowledge. She says your people's understanding of cellular regeneration is centuries ahead of ours. And your understanding of emergency medicine far exceeds ours," Hyun-Soo admitted. "We had given up hope when Wanbin collapsed. Your Sergeant Taehyun saved his life by sharing his own oxygen. Such sacrifice for a stranger. It is not something we expected from the species we had heard described as conquering warriors." The human commander was quiet for a moment, sipping his coffee. "Captain, what exactly have you heard about humanity?" Hyun-Soo hesitated, then decided on honesty. "The Galactic Cooperative has files on your species. You expanded rapidly from your home system, fought wars with the Zelak Empire and the Theran Coalition, Your military technology advanced faster than your diplomacy. Some cooperative members believe humans are a threat to galactic peace. And now? Minho asked. Now I have seen humans risk their lives to save aliens they had never met before. I have seen your warriors share their food with our engineers. Your doctors work tirelessly to heal our wounded. Your commander alter course from important military duties to escort us safely home. Hyun-soo paused, choosing his words carefully. I believe the cooperative has misunderstood your people. Over the next few days, as the indomitable spirit traveled toward cooperative space, the cultural exchange deepened. Cook Young-ho delighted in creating meals that were safe for all the alien species aboard, turning the ship's mess hall into a place of constant experimentation and laughter. Try this, Young-ho said, presenting a dish to Navigator Boram. I modified human noodles using techniques from your homeworld's cuisine database. Boram's compound eyes examined the food carefully before tasting it with her small feeding appendages. This is excellent. The texture is perfect for Zephani digestion, but the flavors are completely new. Communications Officer Sung Jin spent hours working with the alien crew to build a proper translation database. What had started as emergency communication protocols had grown into the foundation for human cooperative linguistic exchange. Your language structure is fascinating, he told Wanbin, who had become his primary collaborator. The mathematical concepts embedded in your grammar allow for precise scientific discussion in ways human languages cannot match. And your languages are so flexible, Wanbin replied. You can express emotional concepts that require entire philosophical discussions in our speech. But it was the ship's routine military activities that most impressed the alien visitors. When long-range sensors detected a distress signal from a human cargo vessel under attack by pirates, Commander Minho immediately ordered course change to respond. All hands to battle stations, came the announcement over the ship's communication system. This is not a drill. The alien crew watched from the observation deck as the indomitable spirit moved to intercept the pirates. The human warship's weapons, systems powered up, turning the massive vessel into an instrument of overwhelming force. The pirates have 3 ships, Captain Hyun-soo observed, watching the tactical display. Your vessel is larger, but you are outnumbered. Lieutenant Hye Jin, who was serving as tactical liaison for the alien observers, smiled grimly. Captain, those pirate ships are armed merchants, not warships. They prey on weak targets, not military vessels. Watch. The engagement was over in minutes. The human ship's weapons disabled the pirate vessels without destroying them, leaving them alive but helpless. The cargo ship was rescued, its crew grateful but unsurprised that a human warship had responded to their call for help. You do this often? Asked Engineer Da-eun, who had watched the battle with professional interest. Protecting commerce is one of our primary duties, Commander Minho explained. Human space is vast, and there are always predators looking for easy targets. We patrol to keep the trade routes safe. But those were not human ships under attack, Captain Hyun-soo pointed out. The cargo vessel was registered to the Varian Republic. Why risk your ship for aliens? Commander Minho looked genuinely puzzled by the question. Because they needed help. Captain, when someone calls for aid, we respond. It doesn't matter what species they are. This philosophy was demonstrated again 2 days later when the ship detected a cooperative research station that had gone silent. Despite being close to their destination, Minho ordered the indomitable spirit to investigate. They found the station damaged by a solar storm, its small staff struggling to maintain life support with limited supplies. The human crew immediately began emergency repairs while their medical team treated radiation exposure among the alien researchers. We never sent a distress call, the station commander told Captain Hyun-soo later. Our communications were down, and we did not think anyone would come looking for us. The humans came, Hyun-soo replied simply. They always come. As they finally approached the border of cooperative space, Captain Hyun-soo found himself dreading the end of the journey. His crew had grown close to their human rescuers, forming friendships that transcended species barriers. More importantly, he knew that what he had to report would change everything between the cooperative and humanity. Commander, he said to Minho on their last night aboard the human ship, When we reach cooperative space, there will be questions. My government will want to know everything about your military capabilities, your expansion plans, your intentions toward our people. What will you tell them? Minho asked. Captain Hyunsu looked around the mess hall where humans and aliens sat together, sharing stories and laughter. I will tell them the truth. That humanity's greatest weapon is not your warships or your technology. It is your unwillingness to let others suffer when you have the power to help. And do you think they will believe you? Some will, Hyunsu replied. And that will be enough to begin real communication between our peoples. The galaxy needs protectors, Commander. Perhaps it needs humans. The cooperative border station Harmony Point had seen many ships pass through its scanning arrays, but never anything like the massive human warship that now approached. Station Commander Il-sung watched his sensor displays with growing amazement as the indomitable spirit reduced speed and requested permission to enter cooperative space. Sir, called out his communications officer, we are receiving a transmission from Captain Hyunsu of the Silent Current. He says he is aboard the human vessel and requests immediate diplomatic contact with cooperative headquarters. Il-sung felt his scaled hide prickle with concern. The Silent Current had been reported missing 2 weeks ago. If Captain Hyunsu was aboard a human warship, it could mean anything from rescue to capture. Put him through. Captain Hyunsu's face appeared on the main screen, and Il-sung was relieved to see that the Cathari explorer looked healthy and unharmed. Station Commander, I must speak with you immediately about first contact protocols. The humans wish to establish formal diplomatic relations with the cooperative. Within hours, Harmony Point was bustling with activity. Ambassador So-young arrived from the cooperative capital with a full diplomatic team, while Admiral Ji-hoon brought a small fleet to ensure the border remained secure. The last time humans had encountered organized alien government, the result had been 3 years of warfare. No one wanted to repeat that mistake. Captain Hyun-soo, Ambassador So-young said as she met him in the station's main conference room. Please explain exactly what happened to your ship and how you came to be aboard a human vessel. For 2 hours, Captain Hyun-soo told the story of his crew's rescue. He described the immediate human response to their distress call, the risks taken by Sergeant Tae-hyun and his Marines, the medical care provided by Dr. Yoon-ji, and the protection offered during their journey home. You are asking me to believe, So-young said carefully, that this human warship altered its patrol route, risked its crew, and spent a week escorting you home, all with no request for payment or political concessions? That is correct, Hyun-soo replied. Commander Minho acted purely from humanitarian motives. Admiral Ji-hoon, who had been studying the tactical reports, looked up from his tablet. Captain, this human vessel could destroy our entire border fleet. Its weapons and defensive systems are decades ahead of our technology. Why would such a powerful ship render aid to aliens instead of simply taking what it wanted? Because, Admiral, that is who humans are, Hyun-soo answered. I have lived among them for a week. I have seen their nature. Engineer Da-eun, who had accompanied her captain to the meeting, spoke up. Ambassador, they shared their food with us. They taught us their repair techniques. When Wanbin was dying, their medic risked his own life to save him. These are not the actions of conquerors. Ambassador So-young remained skeptical. The humans fought 2 wars of expansion against alien species. Their reputation is that of aggressive militarists. Perhaps, said Captain Hyun-soo, we should ask the humans themselves about their intentions. The formal first contact meeting took place in the station's largest conference room. Commander Min-ho came aboard with a small delegation, including Dr. Yoon-ji, Lieutenant Seung-jin, and Sergeant Tae-hyun. The humans wore dress uniforms rather than battle gear, and their weapons remained aboard their ship. Welcome to cooperative space, Ambassador So-young said formally. We are grateful for your assistance to our people. Commander Min-ho inclined his head respectfully. Ambassador, we are honored by this meeting. Humanity hopes this can be the beginning of peaceful relations between our peoples. Commander, Admiral Ji-hoon said directly, we must address the military situation. Your ship is armed with weapons that could threaten our entire border defense system. What are human intentions regarding cooperative territory? Minho answered without hesitation. Admiral, humanity has no territorial claims. In cooperative space, we are expanding, yes, but into uninhabited systems. We seek trade partners, not conquest. Then why the massive military buildup? So Young asked. Our intelligence reports show hundreds of human warships patrolling your borders. Dr. Yunji leaned forward. Ambassador, may I answer that? As a non-military officer, I might provide perspective. At So Young's nod, she continued. Human space is vast and still largely frontier territory. We patrol not to threaten our neighbors, but to protect our own people and anyone else who travels through our space. Pirates, raiders, natural disasters. Space is dangerous and we have chosen to be ready to help. Like you helped us, Wanbin said quietly from his place with Captain Hyunsu's crew. Sergeant Taehyun spoke up. If I may, sirs and madams, I've served in the human military for 10 years. We fight when we have to, but we prefer to rescue and protect. Every human ship carries emergency medical supplies for alien species, even ones we've never met. Every patrol route includes checks on distress beacons. That's just who we are. Admiral Ji-hoon studied the human marine. Sergeant, you personally risked your life for aliens you had never seen before. Why? Because they needed help, sir. That's reason enough. The meeting continued for hours, covering trade possibilities, territorial boundaries, and mutual defense agreements. But the real breakthrough came when Ambassador So Young asked about human expansion plans. Commander, she said, if humans are truly peaceful, why expand so aggressively? Why build such powerful warships? Commander Minho was quiet for a moment, then said, Ambassador, 3 years ago we encountered the Zelak Empire. They attacked our colonies without warning, enslaved our people, destroyed entire worlds. We learned that the galaxy can be a very dangerous place for species that cannot defend themselves. But you defeated them, Admiral Ji-hoon pointed out. Yes, but at terrible cost. Millions died because we were unprepared. So we decided that humanity would never again be helpless in the face of aggression. But we also decided that no one else should be helpless either. Minho gestured toward Captain Hyun-soo. When we heard that distress call, we didn't hesitate because that is the kind of people we choose to be. Ambassador So Young looked at the faces around the table, human and alien, military and civilian, all united in their desire for a peaceful resolution. Commander, what do you propose? Joint patrol stations along the border between human and cooperative space, Minho replied immediately. Shared emergency response protocols, cultural and scientific exchange. We have much to learn from each other. And if another aggressive species threatens either of us, then we respond together. Humanity will not stand by while peaceful people suffer, whether they are human or cooperative citizens. The formal agreements took weeks to negotiate, but the foundation was laid in that first meeting. 6 months later, the first joint human cooperative rescue station began operations at the edge of known space. Ships from both civilizations worked side by side, responding to distress calls regardless of the species in need. Captain Hyun-soo commanded the station, having requested transfer from exploration duties. His crew, now fully recovered, served, alongside human personnel who had become their close friends. The Silent Current, repaired with hybrid human cooperative technology, served as the station's primary response vessel. Captain, Wanbin called out one day, we're receiving a distress signal from an unknown species 3 light-years from here. Human or cooperative ships available to respond? Hyun-soo asked. The human cruiser Defiant and our patrol ship New Dawn are both in range. Captain Hyun-soo smiled as he gave the order that had become standard procedure for the Joint Rescue Service. Signal both ships. Tell them we have people in trouble who need our help. In the depths of space, 2 ships from different worlds turned toward the distress signal. Their crews united in the simple belief that when someone calls for help, you answer without hesitation. Behind them, more ships from both civilizations maintained their patrols, guardians in the darkness ensuring that no one would ever again drift helplessly in the void. The galaxy had become a safer place, not through conquest or dominance, but through the simple act of beings choosing to help one another. And at the center of it all was humanity's gift to the universe, the unwillingness to let others suffer when they had the power to act.